Scanning. Subject identified.
Operating at full capacity.
Won't be able to pick this.
What, are you crazy?
Sean.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope...
It's not so bad, really. People manage.
Perhaps. But at a cost too great to be worth it. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They kept me alive, too.
They did, indeed. I was the perfect.
Stupid
Well, the
old
Institute
man.
realized a contingency plan was prudent. It only made sense that my parents should. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111. I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see.
Uh-huh.
With the Commonwealth, perhaps most curious.
Well, you're right.
I believe so.
Uh-huh.
The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. I hope you weren't.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their program. Not the first or last. The railroad remains an annoyance. And you, well,
Sure.
Please. Take this as a token of my appreciation.
Right.
It's time for you to become more involved in the future. I'd like you to join me inside. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in. Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important.
Son.
Let's get this directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important. Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I want to avoid a potential high-risk situation.
Very well. I'll schedule it in.
Of course.
Really? Well, there's no shame in being out of the loop, as it were. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and
In this world, I'm sure compromise is necessary.
Quite right. For far too long, we've been dependent on others. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Sounds like an important step.
The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir,
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg, while I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way. He has proven more than capable of handling himself.
yes, but
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise,
Right.
I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
can't be
Please,
serious.
everyone, please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. We can talk more. If the Institute can, to that end,
Oh, boy.
You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He is.
ignoring your boredom, the Institute has enough I believe my father has already proven himself more than... This will conclude this meeting.
X688 sounded very impressed with your work at Libertalia. He doesn't give praise lightly.
I had no idea.
I know this is... I'm sorry, Father.
I can do the job.
Of course you can. There's no question that some... That's why I'd like...
Right.
They are hard to see.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys...
Dr. Fillmore.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go. Recent events. We're going to have to cut some... You're going to the ma...
Consider it done.
I'll consider it done when
Sounds good. I'd appreciate
Not as much as I'd appreciate, but here we are. Not to put more we don't want them getting the... Head on up to the relay.
I hope you realize how important mass fusion is to our overall goal.
Hey,
Oh, you shouldn't have.
I'm proud to be serving under Elder Maxon.
Proctor Ingram. The Institute wants me to get something called a beryllium agitator from the ruins of mass fusion.
A beryllium agitator? I seem to remember reading an old... It must be pretty darn important. You know, if we head over to mass fusion right now, we may be able to get the device before the Institute does. That's if you don't mind a little company, of course.
We don't need her. She'll just get in the way.
No way. You're staying.
Hey, I might be walking around with metal.
Forget it, Ingram. It's too...
Fine. Have it your way. I just hope you don't bring back a paperweight. Where the heck are you going? I'm not finished talking to you yet.
Proctor Ingram, the Institute wants me to get something called a beryllium agitator from the ruins of mass fusion.
A beryllium agitator? I seem to remember reading an old techno... It must be pretty darn... You know, if we head over to mass fusion right now, we may be able to get the device before the Institute does. That's if you don't mind a...
Uh-huh. No way. You're staying...
Hey, I might be walking around with...
Forget it, Ingram. It's too dangerous.
Fine. Have it... Just hope you don't bring back a... Grab whatever gear you need and head up to the flight deck. This could be your best chance.
Ingram?
Might want to have Night Captain K take a look at that injury.
Attention! Ferrum Squad, report to debriefing. Ferrum Squad to the debriefing.
About these recruits. Too young, too green. Much like the initiates back in my day.
We'll stop the Institute. For Maxon and for the Brotherhood.
Hey there.
Charging into a situation guns blazing is a good way to get yourself killed.
Proctor.
Hope you're geared up. Otherwise, this is gonna be a short trip.
Well, the Brotherhood's got a lifetime supply of nuclear ordnance thanks to you. I expect you could use a resupply after a scrap like that.
Proctor Ingram?
You need to get over to Mass Fusion as soon as you can.
Hey,
What's up?
over here.
Yep, you got it.
I prefer laser weapons myself. It's a cleaner shot and leaves that memorable ozone smell behind.
I've never been the hammer and nails sort of guy.
Proctor Ingram.
Hope you're geared up. Otherwise, this is gonna be a short trip.
Proctor.
You need to get over to Mass Fusion as soon as you can.
In my experience, hotshots and big mouths end up with closed casket funerals.
From what I hear, that rogue synth at Libertalia was a real menace. Glad it's back where it belongs. Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
Brotherhood sure is here. Guess we'll have to go through them.
Allie.
Well, isn't this fun?
Ad Victoriam.
Wait, what was that?
What the heck? What was that?
What was that?
Be able to hack this.
Calm down, Noel. You knew that this was
No
coming.
way I'm cracking this.
Don't tell me to
give
calm
me that
down,
high and mighty
Carl.
attitude.
When we started designing the beryllium
Have you
agitator,
picked up a
said
newspaper
for
lately?
the benefit of
Hacking this is
mankind.
beyond me.
I can't
That's
believe what I'm
enough.
hearing. Since when did science start taking sides?
Like it or not, when the testing cycle is completed, I'm crating up the agitator and sending it off to Washington. Now, you have two choices. Either you can get
Allie.
back to
If
work,
I was a
or you
pre-war
can get the
tech
hell out
conglomerate,
of my
where would I keep all my best toys?
Can't break the code. Security's too tight. Security's too good. No way I'm cracking this.
This wasn't really what I planned on doing today.
Going down.
Hey.
What do you want? Commonwealth Savings Bank of McCready, open for business.
It's an ambush!
Over here! Over here!
Come on, Tech Long. Find him! Find him! Over there! Get him!
Cover me! I'm hit! Firm honor! Need backup!
Playtime's over! This shouldn't take long.
Ad Victoria!
Now! Damn. Now it's starting to have fun.
Power to the elevators. It's clever. I'll give them that.
Hell are they?
Taking fire! My arm!
That's how we do things.
Lock's really strong.
That should do it. Elevator ought to have power again.
Going down.
Stay with me!
Come here, let me handle this up.
There's the reactor. Not a bad piece of work for its time.
Breathtaking. We need to move on before the Brotherhood decides they want to use it for target practice again.
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed.
The thing we're looking for, the agitator. It should be in a port at the top of the wall. Must be an answer. through the
Security
system.
alert in the reactor chamber. Emergency lockdown initiated. Please wait. Decontamination complete.
Feeling eyes on myself. I'm all over this! That's what I call a confirmed kill.
Engagement with multiple hostiles in progress.
Okay, that looked like it hurt.
Contact lost.
Attention. This is now a combat zone. You may stop.
Lockdown ended.
These guys just don't know when they're beaten, do they?
Well, let's all give them a nice, warm welcome.
I'll help the synths buy some time. Make sure you get back to the Institute with the agitator.
I'm hit! Ah! Taking damage! Got our squad! Ah!
Can't feel my weapons ready.
Unit down!
Iron.
Fire at will! Ah! Taking fire! Ah! No! I'm hit on sight! We need reinforcements!
For survival, yes. Improbable.
The Institute must be destroyed.
No mercy!
Taking damage!
Signs detected.
Right actuator damaged.
Should that thing on your wrist be clicking that much?
Nothing to report, sir. Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
All systems nominal.
Sounds like those raiders at Libertalia were quite a handful.
Safety first. Remember that.
Dr. Fillmore.
I think that was enough excitement for, well, ever. Thank you, really. I'll make sure the adjutant. I understand Father is anxious.
If you require maintenance, please file a report with the Facilities Division.
Without access to bioscience,
How's your energy? Feeling any fatigue?
No more of that.
I see. You're sticking to the regimen we agreed upon.
Yes, Doctor. I'm taking all my little pills.
And you've been getting extra rest?
You wanted to see me?
Many more of these questions. I understand mass fusion was a success, despite interference from the Brotherhood of Steel.
We handled them just fine.
That's what Dr. Fillmore reported. I'm quite pleased at the result. The Brotherhood's intervention must be placed in a larger context.
Sure.
Future conflict. It also cannot... I, of course, never doubted you. I'm proud of you. Regardless. And look at me. I'm wasting time. You're...
Whatever it is.
I certainly hope so.
Right.
This situation, I'm afraid, is...
If I've done something to jeopardize the Institute...
I have no doubt that you would. While you were assisting them, apparently there was some miscommunication, and this individual called for help, which arrived in the form of your Minutemen. My understanding is that no shots have been fired. I would like it to stay that way. I need you to go there and speak to your Minutemen gathered outside. Insist that they stand down at once. Dr. Thompson is on site, and he will be your primary. I know you can resolve this situation.
They'll listen to me.
Believe me.
What's going on here?
You're an unexpected surprise. We could use the backup. These Institute bastards aren't getting away. They'll have to go through us to get out of there. We don't know quite what we're up against, but...
Right. Can you bring me up to speed on the situation?
Commonwealth citizen lives in that there. He managed to fire off a flare gun, got our attention, and we got up here as quick as we could. Now they're trapped inside. But then we realized we probably ought to storm the place. That makes sense, right?
Have your men hold their ground. I'll go in and assess the situation.
I don't think that's a good idea. We have to act now. Are you gonna lead us in there, or...
This whole thing is just a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding. Can't wait to hear this.
Right. The Institute wants the same things you do. We can find a way to work together.
The Institute's been kidnapping people from the Commonwealth.
I don't know about that, but look, if nothing else,
sure,
I'll make sure no one...
Oh, thank God you're here. I was starting to worry we might not make it out of this mess.
Everything's taken care of. You're safe.
Good, good. It was bad enough that Wallace started giving us trouble, but then he called in those savages.
The Minutemen were only doing what they felt was right.
Well, from here it looked like they were out for blood. Can we just get on with this? I know he's potentially important.
If he's really important to the Institute, then it's worth it.
You're right, I suppose.
This is a goddamn waste of time.
I know they've been keeping an eye on it, but once they realize, I think they even... Let's just get...
No argument from me. Let's go.
Right. I was thinking, maybe you could try.
No problem.
I hope so.
Broken. Mr. Wallace, I'm here to talk to you.
You're another one of them, aren't you? Are you a robot?
Don't be ridiculous. Of course I'm not a robot.
That's exactly what a robot would say. I've heard all the stories. I know exactly.
Hey, just calm down.
Fine, fine. What do you...
The Institute needs your help, Mr. Wallace. It's as simple as that.
My help? With what?
The Institute has an engineering problem that your scientific expertise could help solve. In exchange for helping us out, you'd be granted access to the most advanced research facility imaginable. Whatever research you wanted to perform, anything, it's possible there. I promise. You'd be safe and secure.
You'd be helping us create a better world.
That sounds good. Okay, fine. I'll go.
I'm looking forward to working for you, future director. Okay. I think we've got this under control now. Thanks. I mean, thanks for the assist.
Hey, I'm here to help. You're welcome.
Sure. I'll see you back in the...
Just as you gave life to Father, he gave life to me.
Jammed.
Ah, there you are. I cannot express how pleased I am. Our new guest is familiarizing himself with his surroundings. Yet he's already pointed out, with his help, Phase 3.
I'm proud to help the Institute.
At this point, there is one more part for you to play. It is time to announce our presence to the Commonwealth. To request that they...
That's a good idea.
Yes, that is one. We've prepared some. Use the microphone.
For years now, you have suspected that the Institute still exists. That we are among you. It is true. But it is not the whole truth. We're here, and we are here to help. Our superior technology represents the future of the Commonwealth. Today, we activate our nuclear reactor, ensuring that we will persevere long after the world above ground ceases to exist, ensuring that mankind has a future. We have no desire to interfere in the unimportant details of your personal freedoms. We simply insist that you do not interfere with Institute operations. To do so would result in dire consequences. Rest easy. Know that the future is looking bright, and that mankind will thrive under our guidance.
Well, that was interesting. Perhaps not what we originally intended, but it will certainly get your point across. Now it's time to make sure. How would you feel about...
Right. What do you want with Diamond City?
Nothing with the city itself. The radio station in Diamond City is listened to by many in the Commonwealth. If we'd like the people to hear what we have to say, it's the best way to reach them. Before we preempt their broadcast, we need to ensure it reaches the maximum range possible. I've been assured that the report back when you're done.
You hear about the battle between the Brotherhood and Institute? The one in Bunker Hill? A bunch of people got killed or something. Total bloodbath.